Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Shalom to the elders of Great Millstone for preaching the words with faith sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered in 4 points of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is the markets from the Wall Street Journal. I would say this was on May the 25th, 2023 at 4:16 p.m. Because the time zones are kind of different from Central Standard Time into the Northeastern Time. So the markets just recently closed after 4 o'clock over there in New York. And you had the Dow Jones is down for the third straight time. At first, it had a little solid gain, like 10 or 15 in Dow Jones category, but it went down to negative 30 something, I believe. Even though you had the Nasdaq composite and the S&P 500, they jumped up today of the markets. And this is a news article I want to bring out. It says stock markets today, Nasdaq closed higher, Nvidia jumps, bond yield rise. It says the debt ceiling deadline nears, and the S&P 500 higher, and the Dow Jones dips as of today. Right, because it's still more concerned about the the debt limit sitting. So the markets kind of react off of that as well too. But continue on with the reading. It says the Nasdaq composite jump as chip giant Nvidia issued a strong sales forecast due to the rising demand for artificial intelligence technology. It says Nvidia stock finished about 24% higher, boosting other chips marketings and share tied to AI. And the Nasdaq meanwhile rose to 1.7%. And it says the rally came as a fresh economic data shows the economy growth and inflation remains high. It says adding fears to the persistently tight Federal Reserve monetary policy. Anxiety has creeped into other areas of the market, particularly with the U.S. debt ceiling. Right, just like I mentioned before that. It says the Fitch late Wednesday placed the U.S. in a AAA credit rating on negative watch. Right, I seen that on the news earlier today with my OG. But continuing on, it says citing increasing political partnership around the debt ceiling. In a late afternoon trade, the stocks index were split. The S&P 500 added 0.9%. The Dow Jones slipped to 0.1%. On the Nasdaq is on track for a weekly gain. So yeah, right. As they seen the data statistics and all that, but it's still a high concern due to the debt ceiling. Either side is see if they're gonna come with some type of agreement before June the 1st of 2023. But as of now, you had the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq composite. They had a good solid gains for this week so far. But the Dow Jones has slipped once again. It had like an early gain before the closing hour of the bill. It went from like 10 to 15% gain, and then it went back down within the latest, I would say, couple of minutes entering in the markets closing for the whole day today. It went down to like 30 to 35, I believe. So it rose down to 0.1%. So this is like the third, I would say this is the third straight day of the Dow Jones has failed, So that shows you, because the markets react to what's going on economically, data statistic wise, and what's going on with the Federal Reserve as well too. And as the data statistics came out for this week, it was saying that the hot inflation remains high. And due to that, you have the Federal Reserve keep on jacking the interest rates up due to the inflation continuing to increase right along with the consumer spending and everything. But then you still have the everything is still high. The housing market is still at a struggling standstill. With the unemployment rate is from 3.5 to 3.7, if I'm not mistaken. But you still have the market still react what's going on with the debt ceiling. That still has high concerns to that. So we're going to see how that plays out. But as of right now, as I mentioned before, and we have the Dow Jones been down for the third straight day of this week. And you have the Nasdaq composite and the S&P 500 was up once again this week. So you're still dealing with the debt ceiling, because the markets react of what's going on to that as of lately. So that's why the Dow Jones been down for the last 3 days, due to see if they're going to come to some type of agreement. The progress been at a standstill, but how the way they's looking at it, they made some progress, but no deal has been made yet. So we're going to see, when June the 1st hit, we're going to see how that plays out, on either side, if they're going to come with some type of agreement, So the markets kind of have its eyes and sight on that, because like I mentioned again, I'm going to mention it the third time, because the markets react what's going on globally, financially, or any major announcements that deals with financial sense, So, and this is the main concern with the debt ceiling, So if it's going to be the debt ceiling going to rise, or it's going to be in default. So we're going to see how that plays out within the next week or so, So, but as of right now, like I mentioned again, the Dow Jones down for the third straight time, even though the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 has gained some momentum. But, the Dow Jones been down for 3 days because the markets react to what's currently going on with this debt ceiling situation. So we're going to see how that plays out, and we're going to continue to see the market's going to have some positive gain for tomorrow as well too, which is a up and down market's been happening for especially this year in the 2023, because the market's been up and down due to the fact tackling with the inflation, and the interest rates been up as of lately as well too, from last year all the way to this year as well too. So with that, this was just a sit-down lesson that I wanted to bring up of this recent news article from the WallStreetJournal.com. As it says, the stock markets today, the Nasdaq closed higher as Nvidia jumped bond yields. It says the debt ceiling deadline nears, and the S&P 500 ends higher, and the Dow Jones dips for a third straight day once again. So with that, hopefully this was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Akarkadash. Shalom to the elders of Great Millstone for preaching his word, truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered to the four corners of the globe, preaching word, truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.